I'd like to welcome you all here. It's great to have you here today, and we really appreciate you carving out the time.
There are over 500 different methodologies for AI. So, it's kind of like there's no one-size-fits-all solution to AI. You still have to understand what the underlying problem is, what the methodology you're looking to solve for is, and what the information you want to extract out of it is. You actually have to understand the hypothesis you're trying to test in data.
And quite right, when you put it in a marketing sense, my biggest fear is this outsourcing of insight. And that's the risk that we have, I think, with AI, is that we're going to start turning on these machines and they're going to surface amazing information, which I think is good, but for me it's still information, it's not insight.
If you're buying auto intenders through these data platforms, so is old mate up the road, and so is Bob across the street. What makes you different in how you're using that same data?
My product experience says to me that if you're not creating value in that transaction with or that engagement with the user, then you're using all of your data and all of your AI for exactly the wrong thing.
Everybody's carrying a smart device in their pocket. The latest figure that's come out says that there are 2.5 billion voice-activated devices in the world. So that's tipped to reach 8 billion by 2020. So there will be more voice-enabled devices out there than people. So even though there aren't massive figures around usage at the moment, once it reaches critical mass, there's not going to be any stopping it.
In Australia, you've got Alexa and Google, and when it comes to Alexa, they're working hard to partner with brands on building native capabilities. So when you ask it questions, if it takes you to Wikipedia, then it means you've got opportunity there to build something locally where Alexa won't take you to Wikipedia anymore and will take you to your own brands.
From a small scale and from a brand perspective, once again, I think it's about, you think about voice search. At the end of the day, there's one result that comes up. So if you're not first, you're last. So the first mover advantage there is very clear. I think for that as well, it's coming back to understanding the explicit and the implicit in terms of the way that people interact through voice. So, there's a big difference in intent from someone saying, what's for dinner, as opposed to I want to make a stir fry, to their smart assistant, or ideas around that, turn the TV on versus put Seinfeld on the TV. They're two very, very different intents behind that. So understanding how voice fits in through the journey, but also how people interact through voice.
Have we been distracted by the concept of automation and predictability because it seemed like the right thing to do? And have we become a bit too focused on converting the interest rather than creating it? And ultimately, creating interest is what sets our brands apart and our businesses apart.
Machine yearning is something that I think we'll continue to have for a while, and I think that's something that we should embrace and really look forward to.